Morning. It's Fish the Beach Bum Investor with your cryptocurrency discussion report for the 31st of January 2018. Not a good day for crypto investors. It's a double figure, a red digit day for most of the coins in the economy. Just going to pop over to NZ Street Beats. Got that track, man. Sick. I just started writing the lyrics for it this morning, last night and this morning. Take me a while to get that finished. F Nugget Gaming. That's an interesting handle there, mate. G'day, how are you? Crypto Chronicles. Yeah, so Bitcoin's been testing 10,000 on the low side, guys. Trying to bust the support there. AQ5, how's things, man? It's been a tumultuous time. The first month of 2018, when you consider Shaquille, how are you, man? So when you consider all the events of the last month, it has been, a lot of reason for what's happening. Buenos dias, Andre. Good to see you, man. Oh, how do you? G'day, Kong. How do you mine Bitcoin? Is one that F Nugget Gaming has asked out. I think that's old Kong Savage Ruthless, perhaps. Mate, you want to get onto Grinkers. Grinkers is a miner in our Discord group. So you're welcome to join the Discord group. The link's in the description below. But I don't actually do mining myself. It takes a bit more technical prowess than what I have. So I hold proof of stake coins, which allows me to earn residual income on the coins that I'm holding. But in terms of actual mining, best person to speak to is Grinkers over at our Discord group. He's got some pretty sweet mining rigs going on. Chronica said, "What's up? BTC ain't going nowhere." Yeah, it's been tough. Watchman, how you going, man? This time last year, we would have dreamed of 10K. Yeah, that's true. As support with FUD included. You're right, Chronicus. You got to keep things relative. I saw a pretty good. Can't remember. I was watching a few YouTube videos this morning to get an idea of what the market was feeling. And someone, I can't remember who it was, put it in perspective really well, saying, look, we're down this much over the last week, this much over the last month, and we're up 955% over the last 12 months. So it is nice to, yeah, I agree, Hinahara. Chikai, welcome, man. Chikai's come in with a theory that Tether is causing some 5150 time, some crazy time. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think that's one of the things I was going to say. So there's a lot of combining factors at the moment that might be causing a little bit of uncertainty within the economy. One of the things being Tether and whether it is legitimate or not, whether they're running their own fractional reserve banking system. And regardless of that, there is a growing concern that the US government just aren't going to have it. You can't just create a crypto on our asset, on our product, if you like. So I can see that being the case, the US dollar shutting that down. They've recently been subpoenaed as well. I think just in the last week or so, have been subpoenaed to provide information to CFCT. Is that what they're called? So yeah, I think Tether's part of it. I also think the heavy regulation coming out of Korea has caused a temporary, it's restricted Korean won coming into the economy as freely as it might have if those moves to regulate hadn't been made. Now that might be a short-term negative, but it's a long-term positive. I've spoken my opinion on how this validates our economy. So yeah. NZ Streetbed said the Tether Bitfinex FUD is blowing up. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I didn't watch the Neo DevCon. Did they stream that live? Did they, Shaquille? Was it good? I think Icon are doing one shortly, aren't they? Icon are doing their annual summit today, I'm pretty sure. Icon's been reasonably resistant compared to the rest of the market. We'll get over and have a look. Oh, Red Sea, man. Sea of absolute sea of red, Wilson Trainer. Sea of red, dude. Kieran to Kieran. G'day, mate. Watchman goes BitConnect. I don't know why we come in and joke about BitConnect. This is part of the problem as well. It stops new money coming in when you get these actual pyramid schemes. collapsing. It's not good for our whole economy. Funny Eagle said BitGrail exchange as well. Icon is in 3 hours and 40 minutes. Thanks, Icon annual summit. Thanks very much, Funny Eagle. Good source of information as always. Well, he's retracted that message. Maybe it wasn't 3 hours and 40 minutes. It is soon though. Subpoena is from December 6th. Oh, that's old news, is it? Okay, I thought it was earlier this month. It's earlier in December. Cool, thanks, man. I didn't see Shaquille Ahmed. I didn't watch the DevCon, man. Didn't see any major announcements. Yeah, Icon in 3 hours, 40 minutes. There we go. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, whether it actually gets sold into that news or, you know, the thing is that we've got announcements. Like these are the announcements, right? I know that you buy up to the event and sell into the event, but when the event includes more, not rumors, actual facts that are going to be coming out, it's still buy up to the event and sell into it. So if you're looking at the applications that are being released, people might get very excited on that and buy Icon in preparation for those ICOs, and some other people might, sell off into that. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Mark G, it wouldn't surprise me. Mark G said, I saw some analysis that puts the 200-day moving average on Bitcoin and it's showing it going to 8,500. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, it's you got to think about everything combined. Okay, so we had potentially some market, potentially, no proof of this, speculation, potentially some market manipulation out of Wall Street. When futures trading was announced, that coincided with a massive, massive bull run of Bitcoin, which does lend weight to the theory that they were buying up the Bitcoin to dump it back into and bet on the shorts. So we've seen that. We've seen Korea and China moving to regulate and even ban trading. We've seen a whole lot of things. So, potential flippings from first Bitcoin Cash and Ripple and Ethereum actually looks like it might achieve that at some stage. I did suggest that, 5-to-1 Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio was reasonable in my opinions. NZ Street Beats, I'm a dick. Sorry, man, I thought you already had a wallet. Dude, I've got a shortcut for that. I've got a snapshot of the chain. So you can just, if you're fairly savvy with computers, you just drop one file in. It's pretty simple. So I can get that going for you much quicker, man. Yeah, NZ Street Beats is just downloading his PIVX wallet because he made me a sick fresh beat. I'm writing a rap to, completely original. And I'm paying him in PIVX for that. So he's downloading his wallet to receive the payment, which is good. Oh, nice. Chronicus is doing another Lightning Network node. Just installed a fresh, clean hard drive with Linux on it. Cool. Mark G's balancing out that 8,500 estimate, 8,500 by saying, but then someone told me in December the 200-day moving average on Bitcoin had it going to 25 grand. Maybe both are right. Hodl. Mate, with the volatility in this market, they could certainly both be right. The thing that's interesting is, though, it wasn't far off that 25 grand mark, at least on some exchanges. So, I don't know. What do you think of Trinity, and do you think it will move with Neo since it's going to improve their scalability? I haven't heard much about it, Shaquille Ahmed. Been doing a lot of work on my own projects, man, so the stuff coming out recently has been a little bit harder for me to keep an eye on specific to coins. I'm keeping an eye on the overall crypto economy and news affecting the economy as a whole, obviously. Don't measure your days in 24-hour periods. Measure your time in upticks on BTC. It's interesting. I want to hear Icon partner with the South Korean government at the summit. Oh, goodness gracious. Funny Eagle. That would be moon time for sure. Where did this come from? I can't remember who got this made for me. Jace, I thought that was Jace. Are you in the chat, man? Oh, you are here. Jace, was this you? Or was this Wilkie? Someone's got me an icon mug. I just seen it sitting here on my desk. Which one of you guys broke into my house and put a mug on my desk? To be fair, my doors are usually open. I'll help you out, Chronicus. I'll help you out with that, man. Just hit us up over at Are you running which version of the wallet are you running? You run the latest version of the wallet. Chronicus has just had some problems with the PIVX wallet, but I can help you out over at Discord, man. Just message me. I'll give you a like if you're resyncing the chain, I've got a link that'll give you a recent snapshot for it. So it cuts it down to like 1 week syncing time instead of going back to the start. That might be the best way, because what the other thing that can happen, Crypto Chronicus, if you've got it might be struggling to get past a specific block or something, and this snapshot of the most recent one would bypass that for you. So we'll work it out, man. Hit me up over at Discord. Might need to send me that also, Fish. Turned off computer from wall on accident and wallet won't work. Yeah, cool, man. I got you guys. I'll send you the link over on Discord. AcQ5 and Chronicus. I'll remember to do that. Andrew Rubenstein. Hey, Fish. First time visiting your stream. Welcome, man. Any coins you want to have a talk about since you're a newbie? Andrew Rubenstein, just put them in the chat, man. We'll have a chat. Cranky Pete's in. I'm building an Ether rig at the moment, 3x1070 Ti's. Little bit of a learning curve. I bet it is, Pete. Kev's in. Said market's been scared, but he's still holding. Good man. Crypto Chronicus said that ASUS 1070G BOC is a beast. Oh, no. 8GB, whatever. I know nothing about computers. Pete's got 3 of them. That'll be sick, though, Pete. I was wanting to get into mining ages ago, but then I realised I was an idiot. With few exceptions, BTC, and has before, dragged every alt with it. What is logic for not selling your portfolio for fiat and buying everything back on the dip? I felt like it in the first week of Jan. Mark G, it's hard to predict the markets exactly. I mean, a lot of people were predicting a lot like the markets continue to bull run for the next few months, including the big whale, Wilkie. So it's hard to predict the markets exactly. If you could do that, you would do that every time. Now, is the market going to retrace further to 8.5 from here, or 7.5, or one of those round figures that it tends to stop on when everyone's got their alarm set and it triggers and they go, ooh. I don't know. If I knew that for sure, I could dump everything I had and buy it back 15% cheaper, 25% cheaper, whatever it gets down to. But there's no guarantees. So it's up to you. But if you look at the long-term trend, it is upwards. Oh, was that you, Jace? Why didn't you say hello or something? Where was I? Was I out or something? Thanks, Jace. Icon mug. Sweet. We've got like a totally crypto-branded house going on here. Funny Eagle, Fish, have you had a look at Current? It's an app that allows direct payments to creators and such. It's being advised and backed by Mark Cuban. It's ICOing. That's sick. I think you just coined a term. ICOing. No, I haven't had a look at it, Funny Eagle. It's really, like I said, it's just been, I probably won't be into ICOs for another couple of months. But I know you guys are doing a few over at the crew. That's cool. Yeah, you got the latest wallet. Cool. So your latest wallet, I swapped out to check the other wallet.dat for those disappeared coins and now back to main wallet. Cool. We'll sort it out, man. Yeah, it syncs to Current, just no coins. All right, man. We'll have a look. Sure, we can figure it out, Chronicus. Between the two of us, we've got a full brain, half a brain each. Zay's in. How is Refereum? They have 80K on Telegram. That's an impressive Telegram community for sure. Kieran to Kieran. I've not had a look at the project myself, but why don't we have a look at one of these projects here that people are suggesting? Rob Vikoski's in. Any thoughts on Nebulous? Why don't we have a look at it? You're first to like and comment today. Well done, NZ Street Beats. For me, Chiakai, that's a really good question, man. Chiakai has just said, if you had $500 today, would you purchase BTC or Ether? I still believe in my 5-to-1 Ether BTC ratio long term. So until that ratio is met, I would always be talking about Ether over Nebulous, Neblio, and what was the one that Rob wanted to have a look at? Oh, Nebulous as well. Nebulous, Neblio, and Refereum for Kieran to Kieran. Goodness gracious, we've got a few people want to have a look at. All right, we can get on. But yeah, I just think Chiakai said the reason I'm asking is because Ether is somewhat holding. I don't know. I still believe in that valuation, because whilst Ethereum does have competitors coming into the space in terms of DApp platforms, so does Bitcoin in terms of payment processing. So I think the ratio I originally came up with for those two coins is still achievable, 5-to-1. So yeah, Pete's the same. Sees more of a future in Ethereum. All right, let's have a look at Nebulous, guys. Nebulous, Neblio. Hang on, we had two people said two about one. Yeah, Rob said Nebulous as well. All right, let's go have a look at it. I can't even remember it. That many bloody coins. I'm sure we have. You're right, Chico. No worries, mate. Anytime. I'm sure we have had a look at this one before, but I can't remember it. So since people are asking about it, Nebulous and Neblio. I wonder whether people are getting them confused, and that's why I'm hearing so much about them. But anyway, let's have a look. I'm sure we have had a look at this one. Nebulous is NAS, currently trading at $11.39 in fiat, 113,039 Satoshi, and 1,066,440 Vitalics, what I've started calling the fractions of an Ether. $404 million market cap. Currently ranked 62, $26 million volume in 24 hours, which is pretty good. It's really, really good for that sort of market cap. That's nothing wrong with that. Circulating supply of 35.5 million NAS, with total supply and max supply of 100 million. So roughly 3x inflation to come, or coins that aren't currently circulating for whatever reason. We'd have to have a look into that. So let's have a quick look at where it's available. Nebulous. I like this chart. I think we have had a look at this before. Huobi, sorry. OKX, Gato, OKX, Ether Delta. Yeah, I have a feeling like we have seen this one before. I just can't remember what it does, so we'll go have a quick look. Ah, yeah. Decentralized search framework, that's right. I do remember we did actually have a look on this on the show. I haven't actually read the white paper yet, but because we have gone through this on the show, I won't go through it in detail. But basically, it was a blockchain-based search engine. They've got the mainnet coming online this quarter, so that'll be interesting. I will say that most people buy up, and then when it runs right up to the mainnet launch, they tend to sell into it. So we'll see if that that continues with Nebulous. I would have to go through and read the white paper. We did have a look at it on the show before. It looks interesting. It's not something that made me go, oh, I've got to stop everything and go and research more about this. So I can't really give too much of an opinion on it at this stage without having read the white paper. Some interesting opinions here from, yep, NAS equals Nebulous. Thank you, Rob. Andrew Rumenstein says the Vitalics, he likes that. Okay. Yo, it's GWEI in honor of a science guy. Nebulous will be rewarded to DApp DApp developers. Very slow over time based on how much they bring to the blockchain. Cool, thanks, Christopher Stair. That's excellent additional information. And Christopher believes it's a great buy. Neo co-founder is running it. Thanks very much, Christopher. Great extra information. We do appreciate that on the show. Okay, cool. I'm missing the conversation there, Pete. What are you asking the question about? GWEI is the multiplier for transactions, isn't it? Transaction fees. Yeah, that was my understanding of it. So that's what you do when you do your ether calculations for the gas that you're going to be using to move it. So yeah, that was my understanding. My computer froze right as I was about to get on. How annoying is that? I'm going to shut it down now. So I can't actually look at anything to see what's going on unless I use this one. See how the market's trending. Still around 500 billion. It's been rough times, no doubt about that. Just getting the overall. See if we've actually got anything positive to report in the last 24 hours, but I think they're few and far between. Having a look at the view all. Yeah, Bitcoin really testing that 10,000 on the downside. Double figure retracements everywhere. Populous has held its ground. I'll bring you over to screen share so you can see what I'm looking at, but it's not pretty. Not real pretty. That's all right. Opportunity, right? Opportunity. Okay. As you can see, lots of double figuries. A little bit of green here in Populous. Seriously, have a look at that. Another one here in Ignis. Revain, never heard of it. I'll have to have a look. Trade symbol of R. I don't know if people are going to remember that. Serum Labs tokens has come up, but it's something that's took heavy retracements to get to a point where it's going to be able to spike again. Yeah, it's really, really red. It's not a great look, is it? eCoin came up 132%. I have no idea what eCoin's about. You find the further we get down this market cap, the higher the volatility. They seem like the lower market cap coins are much more affected by these sorts of moves. Goodness gracious, look at Steam dollars down 25%. Air token and Macy, Nas, never heard of it. Yeah, so as you get down this market cap, you'll see we get much, much higher volatility. Your double figures don't just become double figures, they become 20%ers in a lot of cases. So that's the disadvantage of playing down. Oh, the advantage and the disadvantage of playing with lower market cap coins. Generally speaking, the volatility is much, look at this, Kilo coin, 157%. Anyway, yeah, generally the volatility down the bottom part of the market cap is much, much, much higher. And that can be positive and negative. In bull markets, that can be great. You can make money quickly, but in bear markets, goodness gracious, you can drop 80%, 90% of your capital pretty quickly. So yeah, it's a good reason. It's a good lesson on why to only invest what you can afford to lose. Shaquille, we've got our roadmap out, man. I haven't got any specific information other than like promotional stuff I'm working on. Yes, got some stuff coming soon. Shaquille's just asked if we've got any PIVX news upcoming. We do have our decentralized exchange being worked on at the moment, the in-wallet exchange, allowing initially transfers from Bitcoin to ZPIV, but we'll work to incorporate other coins into the future. iOS wallet release is coming first quarter, man, so we'll be on iPhone. And that will give me the ability. I'm going to do a video. You guys are going to love it because I got an iPhone, right? Because this is like something that got hand me down. I don't care about technology. I got an iPhone, and as soon as I can get my PIVX wallet on that, I can go mobile and do some like Surfers Paradise during holidays. We'll have 20,000 people down on the beach, so I can go and get some PIVX wallets set up and go and give out some PIVX. So I'll be doing some stuff like that, man. But we've got some, in terms of the technical roadmap, we've got like 36 items coming up for 2018. So there'll be something virtually every 2 weeks. And with the marketing and community development side of things, you can pile a whole lot more onto that. So yeah, looking good for us. Mark G reckons. Oh, Mark G not reckons. Mark G is hearing. Should clarify that Enigma is charting towards a 50% pump. See you later, Chico. Chico's off. I'm good, Rachel. Eh? How are you? Oh, it'd be better if the market was doing okay, but these uh, these times of instability in the market, like I always go back to telling the story how everyone was just so, like giddy when the overall market cap crashed over 100 billion and went bull running all the way to 125 billion back in June, I want to say, of last year. And then it came crashing down pretty hard back to 75 billion again from 125. That's a significant retracement in terms of percentages. So when you have suffered those sorts of retracements in the economy, I guess it makes you battle hardened for it. You can accept it a little bit easier. And a lot of people come on days like this and go, how can you be smiling today, Fish? I'm like, well, these are the markets. It's just a super volatile economy that we're playing in. It's emerging tech. That's going to have its rewards and its downfall in that some of these projects will be proven not to be sustainable and not to be profitable. And as I've suggested before, they'll likely fall into obscurity and a near zero value. But I still think the correct projects are just going to go so far from here still. I mean, the other thing I'd like to talk about is, I don't want to call it a battle that's raging, but it kind of is, between the old financial institutions and the old financial system and the new one. And the new financial system doesn't control the mainstream media. The old financial system does. And the irresponsibility I'm seeing, I honestly think YouTube is more responsible than mainstream media in reporting on crypto. And YouTube's anything but responsible. By the way, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and information purposes only. But I just think that, you know, it's one of those things where the mainstream media is really heavily reporting any negatives that can be reported on, and painting a very gloomy picture for the crypto economy. It doesn't seem to be a balanced argument and a balanced opinion that they're giving. It just seems to be crypto's a bubble, crypto's shit, crypto's this and that. So anyway, it'd be interesting to see what Sean Dunbar said. So in other words, we are effed. No, I think that people are waking up to the fact that have been for years now that the media doesn't always report responsibly. Ignacio is in. What's going on? What do I think about EOS, man? I think it's overpriced for stage development. I've said that for a long time. Same with Cardano. I mean, they're very promising projects, very promising. But I'd like to see a mainnet launch and some coins, like some applications actually being at least announced on them, if not released. I think the valuations for companies that haven't even got a blockchain at the moment are a little bit silly. But you know, it's a very popular project, and there's no reason it can't be. Like I've often said, there's no reason it can't justify this value and much higher going into the future. But today is not that day, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. There's plenty of people who love EOS, and I think it's got solid potential, but it's not there yet. June mainnet launch, I think, for EOS. So we'll know a lot more then. We'll see how it works when it goes to mainnet. I'm sure it's June. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Jace said that Icon's going to live stream Summit at 2 p.m. I'm going to watch that for sure. What are you doing, Sabo, Jace? You want to watch it? Holding a bag of Cardano, Weiss rated in top 2 coin. When BTC rebounds, shouldn't it go 41.52? What? When BTC rebounds, shouldn't it go to 41.50 too quickly? I know you get it a penny. I didn't. Mate, I know what you're saying about the Weiss ratings, but rather than me going, oh wow, that's awesome that this company is out actually evaluating these blockchains, it just furthered my opinion that the mainstream doesn't know shit about this, because those ratings didn't make any sense at all. That's the truth. They didn't. So I'm not taking those Weiss ratings that came out as anything except to bring more, another company taking advantage of the popularity of blockchain to increase recognition of their own services. We've seen it. Long Island Blockchain Company. You guys know about that, right? The Long Island iced tea company. They make drinks, iced tea, obviously. They renamed themselves and rebranded to the Long Island Blockchain Company, and their share price went 3x. That's the level of ridiculousness we're in. That's the level of frenzy and hype that we're in the blockchain space. Now, it doesn't mean that every blockchain project is overhyped shit, but a lot of them are. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I didn't actually pick it up at a penny, Mark G. D holds a bag of it. I don't. She loves Cardano, man. For me, I just want to see it at mainnet first. And said, Street Beats, do you think the US dollar Tether FUD with Bitfinex is also the concern to have with New Zealand dollar Tether and Cryptopia? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a concern simply because it can be done. Like, that's the thing. It's not really that hard to work fractional reserve on this, because you're just relying on the fact that not everyone would withdraw at the same time, which is very unlikely. So it could be a concern with New Zealand dollar Tether. I'm not sure. I'd say the bigger concern, again, NZ Street Beats, is the government just going, you know what? No, you don't get to have a crypto representing pegged to our product, our currency, which is the New Zealand dollar. Interesting one. 150, not 41.50. I still don't know what you're saying, Mark G. $1.5, not 41.5. Rachel N, I know, laugh out loud. Everything that goes down must go up. I'm choosing to smile through this bloodbath. Go times to come. Yeah, for sure. It's early adopter pain that we go through. We get the big giddy highs. We get the big defeating lows, and we also have to deal with a lot of the logistical issues of dealing with emerging technologies, which all of us have experienced, even AcU5 and Chronicus, two guys who are good with tag. Going to need to call on Fish to get a little help with their PIVX stuff. So we're all helping each other out as we're developing the technology. So we get rewarded most if and when we succeed. But we do pay the price in the meantime. Sean Dunbar likes Komodo. Big fan of Komodo myself, Sean. We've talked about it. We've talked about it a lot on this show, being one of the most promising coins to keep an eye out for. I think that the combination of, like, for me, if you look at the Komodo and Verge battle, because they're both privacy-based DApp platforms, my personal opinion is that Komodo's a long way ahead of Verge, and yet the prices are like this. So yeah, Sean, I'm with you on that, man. I think that Komodo's a good buy. I actually really like it at the moment at its current price, especially with. You hear that rebranding though, Sean? I didn't like that idea because I like the name Komodo. The people have said it will appeal to an Asian market, and I think that's true. So I don't see the need to. I guess they're set up in Europe, so maybe that's. Their preference is not necessarily to appeal to the Asian market, and perhaps that's got some reason for the rebranding, but it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me because Komodo's, like, I reckon it's a pretty cool name, actually. Anyway, yes, good project in my opinion as well. Most legit tech in the industry? Well, that's going to be heavily debated, but certainly is a good project. Rachel N, Deutsche Bank just stated that crypto is inevitable. Give it 5 more years, they say. Yeah, inevitable. Oh, inevitable. Cool. Yeah. I love when the banks acknowledge the crypto space. Yeah, but Rachel, they kind of do and they kind of don't. They acknowledge the technology driving the crypto space. They don't acknowledge crypto as such, generally speaking. That might be the exception that proves the rule. But generally speaking, the old world financial institutions and the banking sector is of the opinion that blockchain's great, but Bitcoin's not. And cryptocurrencies that aren't regulated and aren't centralized are not. Obviously, they have a lot of reason to be thinking like that. Dr. Bightball, Joseph Garnier is in the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, the world's second largest stock exchange, is planning to list Bitcoin futures. Yeah, we were speaking about this yesterday, dude. Good info. This is incredible because it will make Bitcoin available to some of the largest institutional investors. You are talking about a massive increase in liquidity, Joseph Garnier. If that turns out to, or sorry, when that occurs. Yes, NASDAQ is the technologies exchange, and that would be massive for Bitcoin to be listed there. Sean Dunbar, one of Cliff's highest favourites is Komodo. Rawiri Hemi, 27 back today. Good to see you. This is what I call a short-term market shakedown. All the dumb money getting scared and taking a loss. Joseph Carnier. How soon do you think it will hit? Oh, sorry, Shaquille. I don't get why Dragon Chain is priced so low compared to others. How soon do you think it will hit Binance? Great question, Shaquille. It's difficult, man, to understand. Like, I'm not on the team at Dragon Chain, so it's hard for me to see the behind-the-scenes stuff. Obviously, we'd had pretty strong whispers about what was going on in the PIVX community, but none of us could announce that publicly on fear of being delisted. So, yeah, I'm not involved with the Dragon Chain community. It's something you could get over there and ask them, but they're not going to tell you, because if they tell you before Binance announce it, they will actually put their listing at threat. So they might not tell you, but I do think that what you've mentioned there, Shaquille, like you said, you don't get why it's so low. I said the same thing on the show yesterday. I said, how can this coin being valued at $500, $600 million market cap when these coins that are 6 months plus away from releasing anything on a network at all are valued at what, $17 billion in the case of Cardano? I think it got up to that at some stage. I don't know where it's sitting now. And same with EOS. Dragon Chain have already released an ICO. We've got another one coming. The network is working. So yeah, for me, undervalued compared to some of these other projects. I'm just trying to make it relative to the crypto economy. And you're talking about, 1/35th of the value of Cardano in Dragon Chain, and yet it's got like one application, another one to come. So yeah, I'm the same as you on that one, Shaquille. I've been picking up a bit of Dragon, man. Been chasing the old Dragon. I think it's good value. And perhaps what you mentioned there could be part of the reason is availability. It can be tough to really to get your coin, to trade, to get the volume and to get the price increase without having it widely available. And that's certainly one thing that's Dragon Chain are going to have to work on through 2018 to increase interest and adoption of their platform is actual availability. Because at the moment, as far as I'm aware, you've got KuCoin, you've got, and that's only recent, you've got Ether Delta. Is there any others? I'm not sure there is. It's fairly limited availability, right? So yeah, I think it's got potential though. I really do, Shaquille Ahmed. I heard that the backing from Walt Disney or from Disney is not as pronounced as what the rumors had been stating, but I still like the project. Joseph Garnier said, I feel like we're on one of those nature shows where a group of sharks corners the whole group of fish and they just pick them off. Yeah, they're called bait balls, man. They suck. I've swum through a couple of them unintentionally. Well, the bait ball more swum through me. Hate when that happens. And I am a fish, so I'm always scared that sharks are going to do that. Sean Dunbar. I hadn't realized Cliff had talked about it. Do you have a link? Komodo is far ahead of Verge. It's not even a competition. Yeah, look, I actually hold both. Sean Dunbar. I picked up Verge though, man, when it was a $25 million market cap or something. Just like, oh, this thing's got potential, you know what I mean? And then it ran to a $2 billion market cap, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense, because you've got these other projects like Komodo that are, releasing Monets soon. You've got projects like Dragon Chain, another good DApp platform that has already released one application. I forget the name of it, or at least done one ICO. Icon, again, they've released their mainnet, and they're announcing 5+ ICOs in the next few hours. So that's the sort of speed that this economy expects you to develop and move with. And to me, there hadn't been enough development on Verge's farm. I mean, yeah, Wraith protocol coming out, but there hadn't been enough development and announcements and applications that are locked in to be developed on top of Verge protocol to actually justify the massive price rise we saw on it. And what I think it was, Sean, is a couple of things. I think it was a combination of McAfee as I call him, because he can't even pronounce his own name correctly. McAfee putting out that it should be, it's a solid coin, putting out a tweet. Then you had the massive unit bias that was and still is to some degree occurring in the economy, where investors are looking at coin price rather than market cap. And of course, with the massive circulating supply, that made Verge look cheaper to the uninformed. So I think there was a combination of things, like a perfect storm that drove it well past a valuation where that was warranted for its stage of development. But I'll say the same thing about Verge as I say about Cardano and EOS, is that there's no reason that Verge can't one day justify its current price and much more. But again, especially when it ran up to 30 cents a coin, putting its market cap at like 6 billion or something like that, no, it was not the time for that. Not in my opinion, anyway. They've still got a lot of work to do. Good combo though, Sean. Oh, Sean, you're a part of the community over there, are you? Oh no, sorry. I thought it said, I think we are keeping the name. So I think they are keeping the name, just a website revamp. I'm on contact with the devs daily in Slack chat. Oh, you are over there. Cool. Awesome, dude. Well, feel free to like, Joseph Garnier keeps us up to date with any Byteball news. I work on the PIVX team myself, dude. But it's good to, like, I see Komodo as a colleague of PIVX. We're both providing solutions that are far better than fiat currency. So I take my hat off to Komodo and the work they've done. I think our devs have done a great job at bringing privacy coin into the market as well, similar to Komodo. We've taken a slightly different route with our proof of stake. You guys have got delegated proof of work, but that's cool. We're developing side by side and helping push the economy forward as one. That's the way I see it anyway. I don't see it having to be cutthroat competition. We've got enough pressure and attacks coming from the financial sectors, governments, and just like haters, people who just say no to cryptocurrency in general because either through ignorance or because of people aren't so accustomed to change. They just like to stay in the status quo. But man, you're welcome to drop in and give us any updates on KMD, because I think it's a quality project. I've said that for a long time on this show. And even though I work for the PIVX team, I'm not just going to sit here and tell you PIVX. Have a good discussion about all the coins, and I think Komodo's a really good coin. Sean's personal opinion is that it's a top 5 coin. I'd love to see coins like Komodo and PIVX. If you look at something like Sean, sorry, I'm directing this conversation specifically at Sean, but he's got me interested in the convo. Sean, if you have a look at projects like Bitcoin Cash and relative market caps, it has me scratching my head. When you look at Bitcoin Cash and its real world applications and its solutions, its plan for scalability, just increase the block sizes again and again and again. Like, it has me scratching my head about the relative market cap of something like Bitcoin Cash and quality projects like Komodo and PIVX. I don't get it. So yeah, I mean, the market to me was starting to take a little bit better shape with Neo running up past some of these other networks, the platforms that haven't even been launched yet, that may not even have a test net, let alone mainnet. So I think the market's starting to evolve and starting to get less ignorant and more informed, but I still think we've got a long way to go. While we've got quality projects like Komodo and PIVX at lower market caps and like Bitcoin Cash, which honestly does not add anything to the economy. It's not. There's no technical evolution there's no reason for it to exist, in my opinion. Whereas PIVX and Komodo both have reasons to exist because they're both branching out and going a little bit, like not a little bit different, a significant difference, enough to justify their existence. Bitcoin Cash is just saying, oh, well, we'll stick to this. We won't develop technology at all because that would change us from the original white paper. And we'll just keep increasing block size because that's all we're going to do. How is that technical innovation? How is that solution valued in the multi-billions and Bitcoin, and Komodo and PIVX down there? Sorry for the rant, Sean. Thanks for the question. Rachel N, what's your thoughts on that one? I just listened to Neon Dev Con presentation and I'm loving the Neo ecosystem that is developing at the moment. Neo's been a good project for a long time, Rachel, for sure. And they've developed community around the project, which is really, really important. Super important. If you've got people who just believe and have faith and are confident in your team and your developers and your community, they see dips as an opportunity. There's more people lining up to buy. And also when you've got a residual income token like Neo, which obviously earns you gas while you're holding it, when you've got residual income tokens, you do seem to see less dumping of it because there is a negative to dumping it in that you're no longer earning that residual income. So people are incentivized to hold and perhaps even buy more in times of dips. I didn't want to mention that one because that hasn't gone to ICO yet, I don't think, Rachel. And it's something that the crew is pretty bullish on, and there's like a stack of people who want to get in it, so I don't want to mention the name of it because it'll ruin it for everyone. Kev's like Singularity Net at the moment, says it's super low getting in. What do you think of Singularity Net, Crane? Oh, yeah, she doesn't know. NZ Street Beat, are you talking about McAfee when you said it's a fake account? He claims it was hacked. I saw an interview with him where he said, yes, I did 100% tweet that Verge is a good project, but I suggested it was a good, it might hit 2 cents by the end of 2018. 2 cents. This is when it was 0.5 cent. So yeah. I actually saw an interview with him where he said, no, 100%, I did send it out. Rachel said, I'm a fish as well. Laugh out loud. To be precise, I'm a Pisces. Joseph reckons this is the bottom and it will moon by the summer. And I'm assuming you're talking about summer in the Northern Hemisphere because it is just about summer's end here in Australia. Rawi said, Populous and Icon are holding their own. Yeah, man, they're doing well. Hashtag animals amongst the bloodbath. And that's a good point that Rawi brings up. It's a really good indicator for sign of strength going forward. If you're taking less of a retracement, if you're more resilient during the times of the correction, overall market correction, you'll tend to find that when the recovery does come and more money does flow back into the economy, it's the coins that have perhaps stayed a little bit more stable during those times of massive retracement that people are prepared to be confident in and put their money back into. Yeah, Sean, I'm with you, man. Sorry about the delayed thing. I always am catching up on. I'm always catching up on chat, so I'm responding to stuff that you said 10 minutes ago. But yeah, man, I agree. We all work together. And Sean said, a lot of these are entirely overvalued and performing on hype alone. The cream of the crop will eventually rise. It's inevitable. Yeah, it might take a little while, Sean. We'll see what happens. Man, it's the same as the .com bubbles, man. When you see like pet.com getting valued at $300 million, you know there's alarm bells ringing, right? But the cream of the crop was like the Microsofts, the Apples, the Googles, and you would have loved to get into share prices of those companies in the early 2000s. So bubble, yeah, it's going to happen. A lot of these projects are going to get shaken out, but the good ones will absorb a lot of that market cap. So if you're on the right projects, I think you'll do well. Andre, but fish, in our world, it's not all about what someone has done. or can do, but it's about marketing and selling your idea. Whether that's right or not, it's something else. Yeah, man, really something to consider, Andre. Really solid point, dude. I've often said that there's going to be a lot of projects, a lot of quality projects that fail because of a lack of community and a lack of marketing. We've seen how much of an effect that can have on prices. I mean, I don't like, what's her name? Is Amanda Johnson? Is it that did some stuff for Dash? The price went through the roof after she came on board. An attractive, intelligent lady talking about Dash, and boom, price went through the roof. Dash is pretty good core technology, though. Having said that, but marketing is super important. Look at BitConnect. Like but affiliate marketing or multi-level marketing is one of the most effective distribution models. When it's built into a pyramid scheme, it's not so good. But the point is that they were able to raise a $2 billion market cap through marketing and hype. So yeah, I agree, Andre. It's a really good consideration, man. I think there will be projects that simply don't succeed, and it's got nothing to do with their technology. It will be to do with marketing and community development. Good point. And Andre has some more. Shaquille, I'd have to have a look more into it, but I believe transactions per second will be a big part of that. Shaquille Ahmed said, what makes Stellar stand out from other DApp platforms? I'd have to have a look at the actual scalability and capable transactions per second, but given it's based on Ripple protocol, it's not based on, but very similar. Actually, I don't even know if it is a fork. I've got to look into that, but it was either the lead dev or one of the lead guys from Ripple that came over to create Stellar, so the technology is similar. So I'm going to say that transactions per second are probably going to be a fairly big factor in that. Andre said, but when the big money comes in from people that don't care about the project but only making money, will the correct one rise? Yeah, it's an interesting debate. Sean said that 2 cents is reasonable for Verge. Yeah, I thought so, man. I just thought it got overheated there for a while. But it was a combination of things, perfect storm. That unit bias that was occurring in the economy was ridiculous. Yeah, that's a good point. Chronica said likely to see even see something that takes Ether's spot or even BTC for #1 spot for a short period. But that's only because market cap and liquidity aren't the same thing. Very, very good point. That's sorry, I already read that one. Sam said, holy cow, BTC tanking. I hope the ICX summit saves me. Yeah, man, it's been tough 24 hours. 3 months to go in Canada's winter. Yeah, I spoke to Sean, one of the marketing guys over at PIVX is Chad from Rhubarb Media, and we had a voice chat the other day, and I was sitting in my backyard, sunglasses, iced coffee, sweating. Chad sitting in there, rugged up, snow falling in the background. Like, there couldn't be polar opposites, right? PIVX and ICX are the only two that don't correct a lot when it's bloody out there. Yeah, we suffer with the market as well, man. PIVX definitely, we can suffer with market corrections. But our community is strong. And I think regardless of the fact, I've told you the tech's good. Put that aside. Community is strong. So when it gets lower, there's people ready to stock up. They're wanting it to dip lower almost. Not. It's kind of a funny thing. You kind of want it to dip lower so you can buy more, right? Like I picked up a bunch of PIVX this morning. You guys saw some of my sells that I had when I did it live the other day when I was doing arbitrage. So I had all that ether sitting there from doing that sell of PIVX and buying it back over on Bittrex. So I bought I paid $12 for it, but I'd sold it at 15, remember? But I still had all that ether sitting there from that sale. And I thought, So I just stacked into it hard this morning on PIVX, picked up like pretty much everything I sold that day, picked it all back up in PIVX. So yeah, I stocked up. Like, that's the thing. That's where I put my savings. That's when that's where I move most of my money to. A lot of people use BTC in that way. Like, they'll store wealth in BTC. I'll store my wealth in PIVX. Each to their own, right? Plus my wealth storing my wealth in PIVX earns me residual income. So that's why I do it. I'm stacking those referrals to sell for one Tesla stock. Cool. Maybe one day Oh, I've got to do that, Chronicus, that Robinhood thing you told me about. Maybe one day one share will buy a Tesla. Oh, I want a Tesla. If he takes on freight and semi-transport market while simultaneously disrupting the gas car market share, new Tesla Roadster 2.0 is fastest car ever in production, goes 621 miles on a charge, and they guarantee 7 cents per kilowatt hour at supercharge stations. Wow. Only 200K. I don't have 200K. Wants to sell my house. And I'm not that big on cars. Trinity scalability platform is looking very promising. Thank you, Rachel. Rocket said, hey, Fish, want to see something super weird? I don't know if I want to say yes to that, Rocket. Yes, please. Go on. Show me something weird. In regards to BTC tanking, you got to dig the dirt to get the gold. Yep. To Hong Fei saying Neo at 100K transactions per second by 2020. That'll be good. Ethercep's in. How you going, man? I have a payment due any day now, so I hope it stays low, because the longer it lingers there, the less likely we are to ever see this low again. When I get paid, I will have more BTFD money. How much residual can you earn on PIVX? Shaquille, it's roughly 5% per year. Is a pretty reasonable way of looking at it in terms of staking. So 5% extra coins. I did some maths back on it. When this is actually how I first got in contact with the PIVX team. I made a video with the maths showing like a $500 holder in PIVX when it was back at $1.50 or $1.80, because back then you could get 300 PIVX, so you get a staking reward every so often. And I said, okay, so this is a 3-year plan. We stake, and every time we earn residual, we just keep it in there, increasing our chance of our next staking bonus. So what you're actually doing then is compounding. And because your dividends are getting paid more regularly than annually, you compound at a higher rate than if it was just paid annually. So it actually works out a little bit higher than 5% if you're to keep it and compound it. And I showed the figures of saving for university for your kid or something like that by putting $500 in and just sitting it there and just rolling the dividends back in. So like I said, back then you could get 350 PIV for that much. But all I did was factor in a stable price. I never factored in price growth in the actual coin price itself. So if you believe that PIVX will be higher than what it is today, I'm not allowed to comment on coin price. But if you believe that PIVX will be at a higher coin price than it is today in 3 years from now, then you stand to make 5% compounding dividends plus whatever the increase in the coin price you foresee is. So yeah, but it's how do staking rewards work? It's randomized, Shaquille Ahmed. So if you've got a wallet like I do, man, and your wallet's open, it's actually actively securing our network. So we need both masternodes and stakers to secure our network, which is why you're given a reward whether you're staking low levels or you're staking the masternode. The rewards are very, very similar. Not that much disparity between the rich and the poor, which is what I like. But basically the way it works, man, is think of it this way. Every PIVX you hold is a lottery ticket, okay? So the more PIVX you hold, the more lottery tickets you have. Now, the draw is for 2.1 PIVX or 2.2 or whatever it is at the time, but it's not for a huge amount of PIVX, but think of it as a lottery. Every lottery ticket sort of wins eventually. So the more PIVX you're holding, the more often you'll get rewarded that 2 PIVX bonus. I've got a couple that I got 3 of them last week. I had a good week last week and picked up 3 staking rewards, and I don't have a stack of PIVX sitting in there. I don't have a masternode for those of you interested. I'm saving towards it, but I don't. But in that particular account with a balance of less than 1,000 PIVX, I got 3 staking rewards in 1 week. So I was like, yes, awesome. So it varies. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you can go a month without getting one on that sort of balance. On a 10,000 coin balance, which is a masternode, you're going to get 1 PIVX every 1.4 days or something. But if you are interested, there is a calculator. I'll just pop the pop it in the link. It's pivxcryptonode.co, and this is your rewards calculator, and it will tell you based on the current conditions in our economy what you're likely to receive from any given amount. So I'm just going to pop this link in the description for you. You go, bang, boom, done. All right, so if you want to use that link, Shaquille, you can. What are the odds for the bonus man? It just depends on how much you're holding, and it depends on the use of the system as well. So our inflationary model or deflationary model is not like any other that I've seen in the economy, in that our coins are burnt and the new coins are created through the block rewards. So essentially, we can have both inflation and deflation in our system based on the amount of use. So it depends on how much it's getting used as well, how many blocks are being created. Let's have a look. What did I miss out on? I haven't looked at it, Rawi. Ether Party, I'm trying to think. Like the only anecdotal evidence I heard about it was that it's good, but I have absolutely no idea what it does, in fact. So I can't really comment on it. Zhao's in. Didn't even see him there. Oh, BTFD stands for motherfucking. Okay. Andrew Rubenstein just actually asked about something I was just commenting on there. So I was just flicking back through the chat a bit because I often miss some stuff. And Andrew just said, Fish, is it true that PIVX has an unlimited supply of coins? Yes, that's true. Technically speaking, it's uncapped, but it can be inflationary and deflationary depending on use. I'll have to get a dev on to actually explain that to you in more technical terms than I'm capable of doing. I'm not too familiar with the project, thinking of dumping my NAV for another privacy-based crypto. I think NAV's a good project, man. I don't want to diss NAV. I think it's more, seems more centralized, like more of a corporate route. More similar to Dash, I reckon, with NavCoin. Like, I don't think it's a bad project, and I think they've done really well with, like, I like their merchandise store. I like how they're thinking about ease of use. I can't stand that it's a bunch of Kiwis. No, I'm joking. New Zealand-based project. I think NAV's got promised. I don't want to tell you to go and dump your NAV for PIVX. I think both projects provide a need within the economy. I see NAV as perhaps a little bit more centralized. Not centralized as such, maybe more corporate would be the best way to describe it. They seem to have that approach to it, where PIVX is obviously working towards becoming a fully DAO organization, decentralized organization. So it just depends on what you prefer. I think they're both quality projects. So Crypto Chronicus, yep, I read that one. Didn't the summit start 30? Oh, has that summit started? No, Jeff said no. Jeff said that Icon Summit starts at 8 p.m. PST, 10 p.m. CST, and 11 p.m. EST. Cool. Hello, Fish. Master Poe says you have the wisdom of grasshopper if you hold extensive coin. I love the comment, Mark Davis. It's creativity. Extensive coin I've never looked at, man, but thank you for letting everyone know. Ethercept said, everyone here knows how bullish I am on ICX, and Track is the only thing I bought instead of ICX. Just saying, you'll know my track record. Clever. Is there a write-up for running a full PIVX node, staking and everything, but on like Raspberry Pi or small cheap Hadmo box? If I could do it, if not. Chronicus, I haven't seen a write-up on it. It was something that Xiao was actually working on. We were trying to get it onto a sort of like a multi-staking thing we were working on for Raspberry Pi, but I'd be keen as, man, because Wilkie's got a bunch as well. So it's better for us to be staking on like a Raspberry Pi rather than just having the wallet up and running, having laptops up and running. Save a lot of electricity. All right, coming back down to live, guys. I know I've missed a lot of chat, and I am sorry about that. Rachel said, I love PIVX. Can you believe that? I scrolled up a little bit just to get this comment. I love PIVX. I love the whole coin. I love the whole coin of the people philosophy. That's it. Yeah. That's how I got sold on crypto, taking back the power from our centralized system and back to the people and the profits, of course. Yeah, Rachel, that was the biggest thing for me. I mean, the crypto economy does provide that as a whole, but most cryptos are still structured to have much bigger rewards for the rich, for the people holding the most shares. And that does encourage large investment, but it also repeats some of the problems we have in our current system. So PIVX was one of the few that I've seen that's actually offering the same, percentage rewards, whether you're holding very, very similar percentage rewards, whether you're holding 1 PIVX or 10,000. So yeah, that was a big part of it for me as well. I've told you guys before, it probably won't surprise you to know that yes, the tech was good, but that wasn't the thing that really got me interested. So then my question would be, how often is CoinMarketCap, PIVX market cap update the circulating supply? I'm not sure, Chronicus, whether they have a direct, whether CoinMarketCap have set up a direct like API to collect third-party information regarding the the supply. That could be done off our chain, right? Just by viewing the blockchain itself. Oh, that's cool, Mark. Mark said, "Fish, we watch you over here in Beaumont, Texas." Oh man, I've never been to. Have I been to Texas? Only to the airport. I've been to the airport in Texas. I've never actually been into the city or outside of the airport at all in Texas. But yes, I've been to Texas in the airport. Flew from Texas to Brisbane, longest commercial flight in the world, 16 hours. Hell of a flight. Speaking of which, ICX doesn't include tokens given out as a bonus and airdrops tokens yet. The total supply, my understanding, Chronicus, is for 400 million for ICX. 40 minutes until the ICX summit. Yeah, cool. Oh, you got it, Andrew. Thanks man. Honestly, dude, you thank me for the response. I'd just be sitting here thinking of things to talk about unless I was bouncing off you guys. Honestly, without the people in the chat giving me everything to respond to, this would be even more boring. So it's you guys, man. I appreciate the questions, and like anything that I'm telling you is just my opinion. That's why it's easy for me, because it's easy for me to give my opinion. You've got to formulate your own though, and that's the important thing. I think I'll keep my NAV after all and put some fiat into PIVX during the dip. Like that style, Andrew. Bit of diversification is never a bad thing. CMC is super stubborn, updating supply information, being CoinMarketCap. Thanks, Sam. They took like 4 weeks to finally get the right numbers for ICX. Yeah, it can be. Yes, I agree. I have seen a few times where the information is not 100% correct. Chronicus, fun fact, I live minutes from Reynosa International Airport. You can fly there for cheap and cross-border to save thousands on flight. Crypto Chronicus, $600 in US versus $100 round-trip flights in Mexico. Wow. That's a good little life hack there from Chronicus. Like Chronicus, I used to do the same thing, man. When I was living in Sri Lanka, because I was back and forth between Sri Lanka and Australia a lot, I would actually book business class flights from Sri Lanka, return at a cheaper price than I could actually book the economy tickets in Australia. So I'd fly over with an open-ended economy ticket on my first flight, and if I was flying back and forth 6 times over the year or something, I'd just have like open-ended return, but then I'd just book another return ticket from Sri Lanka because I knew I'd be coming back to Australia and then going back for more work. So yeah, that allowed me to fly business class at a cheaper price than I was flying economy from Australia. So it's good. Good little life hack. That's all good, Rachel. It's a bit of fun. I appreciate the appreciation. CMC as a whole is a mess, says Andrew. They have way too much power over the markets, I think. Well, that was proven, man. When we saw the Korean figures get removed from CoinMarketCap, it sent the economy into meltdown. So yeah, I think they could be. I've actually said a couple of things, Andrew. This unit bias that I keep complaining about. CoinMarketCap actively, they actively contribute to that through having a search field that allows you to search by coin price when coin price is like the least relevant thing ever. It's market cap, right? So I think that they actually contribute to ignorance and disinformation through having that search parameter available. Ethercept, Crypto Chronicus, what's more likely? ICX at $80, BTC at 100K. Think Ether, Neo, Qtum, Lisk, Stratus, all down the line of platform performance. It's a good point, Ethercept. Like, you got to make, as well as making some figures that you can define in the real world based on what you think market caps will get to. It's really important to look at like existing projects within the crypto economy and relative to each other. And this is why, you guys know that I said Neo was too cheap based on the Neo Ethereum ratio. That's what I was basing it on. It's too cheap based on Neo's 28 applications that are being released in 2018. The ratio's out. And now I've recently said again, I'm thinking that ratios are out between like a lot of the projects like EOS and Cardano and Dragon Chain, because Dragon Chain's already releasing applications. They're already proving their worth as a blockchain. So yeah, I think relative valuations within the economy are really important to keep an eye on. I told you guys I was waiting for some certain valuations because I got a massive bag of ICX because I picked up at ICO. So I got it at 10 cents a coin at ICO, and I'm eager to move some of that profit into my PIVX saving account. And I've done some figures based on when that's going to happen. And it's not relative to US dollar figures, it's relative to the PIVX to icon ratio. So that's the sort of that's where I'm going to at the moment, is I've got a ratio relative to PIVX that I've got in mind for when I'm going to actually exchange a lot of my icon back into my savings account, which is PIVX. Because I've had a huge run on icon. I'm still going to have a massive bag going, huge bag, but I'm going to sell some profits at certain points. And again, not based on US dollar value, not based on BTC value, based on relative to PIVX value, which is a little bit more labor intensive because I've got to keep an eye on the markets and then do quick switches. It's okay. I don't mind doing it. Chronicus said, is it going to moon 10x ICX from here? I think it could long term. Sure. I don't think $100 or an $80 coin price bringing it to a market cap of 20 billion. Would that be right? 30 billion, is it? Okay, 30 billion. Yeah, I don't think that's out of the question. Like, Ethereum's shown what is possible in terms of valuations for these platforms. And I've got to say that Icon's so well set up in Korea that you've got to think that, let's see what happens. Like, the thing's starting soon. They're going to be live streaming it, I'm sure. So let's see what the first applications that are announced on Icon's platform are. They could be game changing, or they could be like, It could be huge companies announcing, or it could be some 16-year-old in his bedroom who's written some code. So let's just see what comes out of this annual summit, and we'll get a better idea of perhaps the next 12 months progression for Icon. But yeah, I don't think 30 billion market cap for ICX is out of the question, man. I don't think it's out of the question. I don't think it's a certainty, just so I'm being clear, but I don't think it's out of the question. I can see that happening. 32 billion, okay. Oh, I didn't pick up any Trinity, not EA, but there's a few people talking about it. We've had a couple of inquiries about it in the stream today. Hey, Fish, check the front page of Bitcoin. My meme is trending on the front page. Is it really, dude? How do I get to Bitcoin? Jog, that's a Reddit thing, right? Bitcoin. See if I can find Dry God Spell Weavers. I don't know. Reddit. Yeah, here it is. Let me just see if I can find it, Chronicus. How do I look at this, dude? I don't even use these things. That's bad, though. I can't see it. Oh, hang on. Was it submitted 5 hours ago? Is it this one? I don't know which one it is, dude. You have to send it to me over on Discord. We'll have a look at it on tomorrow's show or something. I don't know how to do searches on the internet. You know that. It's beyond me. JP O'Brien's in sometime after New Year's in early January 2019. I'm pulling all my crypto into fiat for the month. Buy back in the start of February. It's been a trend that's continued in the crypto economy, and that's well picked up, JP. And when things like this happen and enough people pick up on it, it can be a self-fulfilling prophecy and just happen because it's going to happen. Ether currently has 102 billion market cap. I think ICX with circulating supply can be 32 billion this year. Thanks, Ethercept. And 64 billion is still less than Ether currently. Yeah, a lot of interesting conversation there regarding RCX. I said, guys, you forgot to click the like button. I don't think they forgot, mate. I think they're making a statement. Pedro Iglesias said, second post. Okay, let's have a look. Second post on Bitcoin Reddit. I don't know how to do this. I'll click on this one and see if it comes up with a main. No, it didn't. All right, we'll look at it another time. Anyway, guys, I have been on for over an hour. Thomas Lee, how are you? No, I haven't looked into Ivy Coin, Thomas Lee. We're about to check out too. Eka Mouse just dropped in. Sorry, guys, I'm about to head. Thanks for joining us for the conversation again today. If you are investing today, please, please only invest what you can afford to lose. I know you hear that a lot, but it's very, very important that you do that. It's much easier to avoid panic selling and to avoid real pain in your life if you haven't overinvested. So really, really important part. Mark said, study up on XNT, then you will walk on rice paper without tearing it as a grasshopper has. Cool, man. I'll have a look at it when I get a chance. You too, Rachel. Have a good day. I'll catch you all tomorrow for another conversation. See you then. Hope the market gets a bit greener over the next 24 hours. See ya.